Yo! What's going on, guys? My name is Mindset, and today we're... Hey, bro, who are you? Yes, you. Who are you? What's going on, guys? Once again, I'm Mindset, and today we're going to be checking out some titles I think should have been printed by now. So typically on this channel, I'm usually talking about stuff that's only been printed, because I usually enjoy buying printed and going out to read it, if you couldn't tell. And there's some out there that should have been printed, but they either got axed or they simply didn't get the popularity they needed. So I figure why not boost that popularity? And the first one I want to talk about is called A Breakthrough Brought by Forbidden Master and Disciple. Now, before I start talking about this, I do want to specify this was actually a promotional for a light novel. And funny enough, it's the first one that actually got me to read a light novel because the story was just that good. So the story follows a guy named Earth, and he's the son of two heroes. The hero, yes, hero, and Mamu. And the thing about him is, out of all the kids that were born from other heroes, he's the only one that actually lacks any sort of standout abilities or anything, which has formed into a complex because he's tired of being ignored by his parents, but constantly being expected to perform insanely well at the same time. And he spends every day hoping to get recognition for him being himself, instead of being seen as, oh, you know, that's the hero's son, of course he's that good. He's tired of that. He doesn't want to go through that anymore. He wants to be seen for himself. But one day, while he's traveling through his mansion that his parents own, obviously because they're heroes, he ends up running across the remnants of the former Demon King. And this Demon King, Trainar, basically tells him, yeah, dude, that whole magic swordsmanship you've been practicing that your dad had, you can't do that. You got no aptitude. So after hearing that, obviously Hero's pretty crushed, because I mean, he just got told that the very thing he's been training for years to get better at, to catch up with his friends, is useless. But here's the catch. Apparently, Trainar can't leave Earth. He is stuck glued to his side. And after seeing enough of his life, he decides, you know what? I'm petty, so I want to get one up on the heroes. And he decides to train him, hence the title. Now, I want to leave it there as far as going into the story because, obviously, I'm doing this so you go read it, not so you can just hear the whole thing from me. But it is a all-round fantastic story. I had a blast reading this because the whole point of the story is about breaking beyond your boundaries. It's about getting better. It's about setting yourself aside. It's about not listening to the other people that don't know anything about you tell you how you should be or what you should do. And it's a great story. It covers so much between mentality and action and interpersonal relationships. I just had a ton of fun reading it. Don't get me wrong, there are some scenes that are on the risque side, but overall this was a blast. Obviously, like I said, it's just a promotional for the light novel, so it wasn't meant to run that long anyway. But I'm sure if it got enough traction, someone would be willing to pick it up again, and which is what I'm hoping for, because this is a really good story. I think it deserves a manga. I think it deserves an anime. I've been reading the light novel since I finished the manga. Like, it's been a blast reading it. It's already 455 chapters in, and the story has progressed so much that it's really a shame that no manga is being made about it, or any anime even. So hopefully some attention can be generated towards it so it can get continued. Because if it gets popular enough, I'm sure they'd be willing to cover it again. So following Forbidden Master, I want to bring you guys a bit of a manga that I started reading that doesn't really have much action, but as far as the mystery and the interpersonal relationships, this thing is really good. Though I do have to preface, if you have a hard time with certain mental health topics, I wouldn't suggest reading it, because this covers a lot of stuff ranging from self-harm all the way to abuse in the household. And I know not everybody can handle reading stuff like that, either because it just puts them off, or because it brings up really personal trauma that they don't feel like visiting right now. So if you struggle with that kind of thing, I would not suggest you go read this because it can get really grim. Now, when I say grim, I mean in the sense of, mental health troubles, mental health struggles, family struggles, situational struggles, stuff like that. It's not gruesome like Dark Gathering or anything like that. It's not excessively violent. There are some scenes that can get pretty dark, but it's mostly just the mental part of it that people may struggle with. Hey guys, Editor Mindset here. My warning in the video sounds downplayed, so I wanted to pop in and say this. When I say this covers dark and disturbing topics, I mean it. If you cannot handle disturbing imagery and disturbing topics, do not go reading this. This is not just a warning for kids who should not be watching my videos, finding it and getting curious. This is also a warning for the full-grown adults out there too. If you cannot handle disturbing topics or imagery, please do not go read this. Because the last thing I want is one of you guys going out there reading this and being highly disturbed by it because you weren't expecting it. And obviously, this should go without saying, but if you're ever struggling mentally, please, go seek professional help. Do not delve into stuff like this. All you'll do is ruin your mental state even further. Anyway, that's my warning. And now that we're past the warning, I want to introduce you to Kimi wa Yotsuba no Clover. That translates to You Are a Four-Leaf Clover. So this is an important question I might as well ask before I actually get into talking about it. Now, I don't know if you guys read or watched any of ReZero with the whole, dying, resetting, dying again, and learning through the experiences, but it's similar to that. Similar. So the story follows a guy named Uichi, or at least at the beginning it looks like that. And he is really struggling. He is suffering from some of the harshest bullying I think I've seen in a lot of different types of media. Like everything from being beaten up, having his stuff vandalized, having his desk drawn on, like all the worst stuff you could think of, it's all that. And probably worse. And the worst part is, no one sticks up for him. In fact, it seems like everybody's against him. But one day, right before he was about to pull the plug, an old classmate from elementary school finds him again. And they basically hang out for a bit where she's obviously trying to cheer him up because, look at him, dude. He's disheveled. And eventually, at the end of the day, after they got together again, they reunited, they caught up and all that. They both split off and head home. But while they head home, she's talking about how she is sick of everyone treating him like this, and she would get revenge on anyone that treated him that way. And then she shows this little watch she's wearing, and then she starts tinkering with it. And then time skips backward. You see what I mean by the whole ReZero thing? And basically the whole story revolves around that. She skips back in time to save his life, while progressively trying to find better ways to make his life turn around. I'll leave you guys to read it and decide if you like it or not. Again, fair warning, it covers some pretty grim topics that if you're not ready for, then I would not suggest reading it. But if you do like the sort of darker mysteries and investigation sort of stuff that can cover really grim topics, this is definitely something you want to read. And I'm pretty surprised how popular it is online, even though they haven't printed it yet, which doesn't really make sense to me. But then again, when has printing ever made sense? It takes them a year to print a single book of Mob Psycho. Nothing makes sense. Alright, now, before I get into this third one, I think you guys know by now I have a bit of bias towards long titles and isekais. Because A, why do you need a title that long? And B, it's very hard to get an isekai right. Because you're not always going to get the home runs you're not going to get the home runs like Slime all the time. It's kind of hard to do that because it's such an oversaturated trope. Yes, part of this story is that he gets reincarnated with a secretly busted ability. But at least they did it in a cool way that's not oversaturated in a bunch of either satire or just the same trope you've seen over and over again. Like, it shows development of a country. It shows interpersonal relationships and how they develop based on what's happening in the world. But that doesn't mean they're all bad. Like this next one. Okay, bear with me for a second. I got a new skill every time I was exiled, and after 100 different worlds, I was unmatched. You see what I mean by long titles? Like, why not just simplify it to new world equals new skill or something like that? I don't know. But, anywho, this story follows a guy named Ed, and he's clearly in the adventurer party. And they're starting to have a conversation about how well he was doing in the beginning of their journey, but after some time he started slacking off. You know, he's not helping as much, he's not fighting as hard, he's not doing this, that, and the third. So as any reasonable adventuring party, they have to kick him out, because you can't have a guy slacking off like that, because you're going to get killed that way. But instead of being disappointed, this guy straight up stands up and screams, "Yes!" Right in the middle of the restaurant. Right after he got kicked out of the party. Who does that? And then immediately preceding that, he opens this like portal thing and starts pulling out all sorts of utensils that they can use to help them on their journey. You know, brewing books to maps to like guidebooks on magic and everything. He's just pulling out stuff that he could have used a long time ago, and they would have seen him as probably the most important person in their party. So after seeing that, they go, "Hey, maybe we were being a bit more selfish than we thought. Would you like to join again?" And with an absolutely deadpan expression, he just goes, "Nah, I'm good." And then he runs off while this voice in his head starts counting down till his return. And when the timer hits 0, he shows up in this weird, I don't know, water world with a bunch of doors. I don't know how else to explain it. And basically his whole journey has been going to other worlds, joining the heroes party, helping them, and then getting kicked out. And that's the whole premise for getting his new abilities. He has to get kicked out of the party that he helped before he can return to this world and get a new ability. And the reason that the 100 is so important, you know, the one right there. And the reason it's significant is because after going through 100 worlds, he's finally allowed to go back home. But before he does that, this system, goddess, god, I really don't know. It hasn't progressed far enough for me to know. Before he heads back, tells him that he can go back to other worlds and give it another try, or he can just go straight home. With the condition being, he can never return to any of the worlds he's been to, nor the world he's currently in. And after one adventure of seeing how bad things turned out when he wasn't there, he's given the ability to redo everything. Like, start from scratch, new save file. And that's what the whole story revolves around. Him going to other worlds, resetting, changing it so things are guaranteed to come out alright, and then going to the next one. And yeah, it's a long title, it's an isekai sort of thing. I know not everybody's into that. Trust me, I'm not into all of it either. But yeah, it's still worth the read because it's got, you know, good action scenes, it's got good interpersonal relationships, it's got a good concept going with isekai, but not really. And I definitely suggest you guys go give this a read. Now, before I end this video off, I do have one more I want to show you guys. It is being printed, yes, but I don't see it being sold in any stores or anything, so I think I should at least mention it. It's another long title, so bear with me. Only I know the world is ending, and getting killed by rampaging beasts only makes me stronger. Now, the reason I want to bring this one up is because it's very solo leveling-esque, and if you can't tell, I love solo leveling. So basically the whole premise is this guy, Akira Ichijo, is just heading home from work one night when, out of nowhere, he's attacked by a minotaur. Yep. Now, I want you guys to ask yourselves something. How would you handle a random mythological beast showing up out of nowhere trying to kill you? Would you run and hide? Would you fight it? Well, chances are, you end up like him. But when it seems like he just died, he wakes up back in the office a little bit before he just left. So of course he thinks it was all a dream. He goes through the whole process again just to run into the Minotaur again. And then a screen pops up telling him second death, and he got awarded some sort of ability. Are you seeing where the solo leveling kicks in here? It's obviously also got inspiration from ReZero with the whole dying resetting thing. But I do have to say, I had a blast reading this. It is finished, and it's being printed, but you can only buy it online, sadly. But this is a blast to read because this guy runs around, he beats monsters. When he does die, he resets with the same stuff he earned before his previous death, and then goes through it all again. It's honestly just an all-around fun read, and I can't suggest it enough. If you can get it online, go ahead if you have to, but I'd prefer if it was in stores and I could buy from, like, you know, a local bookstore or something. But yeah, that's it for me, guys. Hopefully I was able to introduce you to some new stuff, because I know it's not exactly easy to go out and get a new book not knowing if you like it or not. So hopefully this will get you into something that may not be purchasable in physical form, but you can still go online and read it perfectly fine. Make sure you go hit the like button so I know what you guys are into. If you have any suggestions for any other videos you want me to do, feel free to comment them, because I'm always looking for new stuff to talk about. If it's something new, I'm always willing to read it and talk about it here. Or I'm willing to find stuff for you guys if you prefer stuff you haven't heard before. And hey, if we reach 100 subs, I'm willing to do a whole manga reveal and talk about when I got them, why I started reading it, and how long I've been collecting for, because people like reviews of that stuff for some reason. Nah, I'm just kidding. I really want to talk about it. But yeah, that does it for me, guys. Make sure to hit the like button so I know if you like this video or not. Make sure to comment any suggestions if you have any manga or different ideas, like I said. And also, if you want to know when I'm uploading, hit subscribe and the bell. This is a formal promise. If we hit 100 subs, I will do a whole manga reveal. So yeah, have a great day. God bless you. Peace.